Honkai Star Rail's version 2.5 livestream just gave us some official info about Feixiao, as well as the other characters coming out in version 2.5. So today, we're going to go over Feixiao's kit to see how much value she could have for your account and whether or not she's worth pulling. I also want to mention that while I like to normally compare the new 5-star with the corresponding rerun banner, I'll actually be making a separate video for the 3 rerun characters we'll be getting alongside Feixiao, which are going to be Robin, Black Swan, and Kafka. So if you want to see my analysis for them, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button. But for now, let's dive right into Feixiao's kit. Feixiao is a wind hunt character that focuses on dealing damage through her follow-up attacks and benefiting from her allies, so she has some really strong abilities. Her basic attack just hits a single enemy, so it doesn't really have any special mechanic or do anything unique. Her skill will not only attack a single enemy, but it will also launch a guaranteed follow-up attack on the attacked enemy. Next, Feixiao's talent is similar to Acheron's in the fact that she does not use energy to activate her ultimate. For every 2 attacks performed by any team member, Feixiao gets 1 point of Flying Aureus. She can activate her ultimate upon reaching 6 Flying Aureus, but she can hold up to 12 points at a time. Feixiao's talent also allows her to launch a follow-up attack after an ally attacks an enemy once for each turn Feixiao takes. This works the same as Kafka's follow-up attack, so considering that it's on a hunt character, it should not only do a good amount of damage, but it'll also contribute to Feixiao getting her Flying Aureus stacks faster. Next, Feixiao's ultimate is also very reminiscent of Acheron's, where you can do multiple attacks during the ultimate animation. Each attack you do will use a point of Flying Aureus, so you'll get the most damage if you use her ultimate with her max of 12 stacks. Her ultimate also has 2 different modes depending on whether or not the enemy has their toughness bar depleted. So it's important to use the one that corresponds to the situation you're in to get as much damage as possible. Lastly, Feixiao's technique puts her in a special state that pulls nearby enemies in and increases her movement speed. Upon entering battle with her technique active, she damages all enemies in every wave and gains a stack of Flying Aureus. Her technique's damage is also increased based on the number of enemies that were pulled in. So that is everything we know right now about Feixiao's kit from the livestream. We should be getting more information about her with like her traces and stat multipliers and everything like that once we get the creator experience server videos from the other content creators, as well as when whoever's posts their kit as well. So for now, we can't really comment too much on her traces or anything since we don't have the official info, but we will definitely cover those once we actually have that info, and probably also once Feixiao is actually released, because I am going to be pulling for her. So with that in mind, now let's move on to how much value Feixiao has and whether or not you should be pulling for her. From what we know about her kit so far, I think Feixiao has a very high pull value for a few reasons. First, I expect that she'll do a lot of damage, especially when considering how well other follow-up hunt characters perform, such as Topaz and Dr. Ratio. So for anyone who needs a stronger DPS on their account, she's going to be very good. Next, while she does focus on follow-up attacks, she can honestly work really well with pretty much any high-frequency attacker. So not only will Robin likely be her best support, since Robin also benefits from frequent attacks, but I can also see Feixiao working well with someone like Gallagher, who can do multiple attacks very quickly, especially if he's running the multiplication light cone, which gives him some action advance. I also do want to mention that March 7th's Hunt form, which is free and all the Eidolons are free through events, is also going to synergize very well with Feixiao because for one, she does have a higher attack frequency, and then secondly, she gets a follow-up attack from her E2, meaning that you're going to be able to contribute to Feixiao's Flying Aureus stacks. And I also do want to say that, despite me not doing a full breakdown of the rerun characters in this video, I do want to say that if you are like really wanting to pull for Feixiao, then I think it's a really good investment if you have the Jades to also pull for Robin, because Robin is, I think, just going to be her best support all around. Or just because Feixiao is a follow-up attack character, plus Robin does really well with characters that attack multiple times and have a high frequency of attacks. Then the last reason for Feixiao's pull value being really good is not just because of what she can do, because I do think her damage is going to be very good, but she also does have a very strong character on her banner, and that's going to be the new 4-star character, Moze. And I'm probably going to make a Moze video once we get the creator experience server stuff, so I have the full details for him. But from what we heard from the live stream, Moze not only has a follow-up attack built into his kit with his ultimate, which is going to help for the Flying Aurea stacks, but every time he attacks the enemy that he made his prey by using his skill, he deals an additional amount of damage to them whenever allies attack. So because Feixiao's teams are going to have a pretty high rate of attack, if you're running Feixiao, and if you're running her with either like Robin as your support, if you're running Moze and March 7th, it's probably also a comp that'll work. You're going to be able to do some very solid damage as well overall for the team. So the fact that Moze is releasing on Feixiao's banner is going to be actually really good too. Plus also, if you're running March on a different follow-up team or like a different team comp in general, and you want to have a character that you can have on Feixiao's team, Moze is going to be able to fit the bill really well. And also when we get the full info, we'll see what his Eidolons do. Because since he is a 4-star, I do think Eidolons are important to look at, because you can get multiple copies as you're pulling for the 5-star. And since Moze is also featured on the rerun banners, if you're also going for Robin, chances are you probably will get a few copies of him as well. So yeah, we'll definitely go over that once we have the full info for Moze. So yeah, those are all the good things for Feixiao, but I do want to say that if your account already does have some of the stronger DPS characters in the game, like if you have Acheron built up pretty well, if you have Firefly built up pretty well, then Feixiao might not be as valuable of a pickup just because you already have some very solid DPS characters. But even still, if you say, you know what, I have a lot of DPSs, but I really do want to, get Feixiao, because Feixiao is just so cool. I can't even lie about that. Yeah, if you're still going to pull for Feixiao, she's definitely going to be very strong. Plus, if you're lacking in win characters, or like win DPSs, she's going to be very good to fill that void as well. But if you feel like you're fine on DPSs, and you're looking to make the best decision for your account, then you might benefit a bit more for pulling for either a support like Robin, or a sustain like Lingsha, who's going to be coming out in the second half of 2.5. So yeah, there are a few different options there if you aren't going to go for Feixiao, but I do think that regardless, Feixiao is going to be an amazing DPS character, probably in that similar tier of Acheron. We'll have to see once she's actually out, once we actually see some numbers. But that is really all I have about Feixiao. I'm definitely going to be pulling for her, and I'm very excited for her to come out. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed and haven't already, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button. The support is greatly appreciated. I'm going to be continuing to post more gacha content, especially for Star Rail with Feixiao coming out. There's a whole bunch of stuff to cover. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.